In today's video, we're going to break down why the nickel 3-3 is one of the best defenses in all of Madden 25 and show you guys some setups and techniques you can use so you can run it like a pro. Now, with this nickel 3-3 formation, you're going to want to get in the multiple defensive playbook, and there's a few effective plays you can look at. We're going to take a look at cover 2 drop, cover 3 drop, cover 4 drop, and linebacker blitz 0. When running this formation, you want to make sure you have auto flip on, set your alignment to base, turn your option defense to conservative, and then for zone drops, this is very important, put your flats to 25, your curl flats to 5, and your hooks to 5. This is going to allow you to set up some very unique coverages, which we'll show you in this video. Make sure your best user is the middle linebacker where you see I have number 7. So we're going to break the huddle in the play cover 2 drop. Now with this play, I'm going to show you guys how you can get instant pressure blitzing from both the left and the right. I'm going to break down some coverage adjustments to make this coverage really hard to beat. And I'm going to show you guys how you can rush 3 or 4 defenders, stop the run, and play lockdown defense. So make sure you stay tuned throughout the whole video so you don't miss out on any important info. And if you want more videos like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel and drop me a like on the video. Now, when we run this defense, we always want to press our coverage as our first step. To do that, you're going to hit coverage audible, which is triangle or Y, and then down on the left analog stick to bring your DBs up in a press position. Now, the most important thing about this defense is you never want to use a cloud flat. You see these outside corners in cloud flats, and you would think at a 25-yard zone drop, they would guard corner routes. They should, but as you guys can see, they don't. They're going to get rammed by every time. Cloud flats are simply very bad at this game in getting proper depth. They kind of almost hesitate in getting back. So what we want to do is after we press our coverage, we're going to shade our coverage underneath to get hard flats by hitting coverage audible, triangle or Y, and then down on the right stick. You guys can see now the outside corners are now in hard flats and they are zoned to drop to 25 yards. Notice the difference here. At the snap, that hard flat sprints back and he's able to get in proper position to pick the corner route off. Pay close attention to this hard flat defender, how he immediately sprints back, gets underneath the route, and picks it off. This is why you always want to use hard flats over cloud flats. So now that you understand why we always need to press our coverage and shade underneath to get these hard flats, now let's get into the actual blitz. So for the blitz, you always want to pinch your linebackers. To do that, you hit right on the D-pad and then down on the left stick. This will just bring these linebackers in and we'll put them over their respective B gap. Now this formation has some advantages to blitzing that other formations don't, which we'll get into in a second. Now, we're going to first show you guys how to blitz from the left, but keep in mind with this defense, you can blitz from the left and the right equally as easily, which is pretty unique because a lot of formations don't allow you to do that. So you're always going to use this middle linebacker. If I want to blitz from the left, I'm going to stand over the guard. To blitz the linebacker on the left of the screen, once I'm over the guard, I'm going to hit right on the D-pad twice to bring up our linebacker quick adjustments. Once you hit right on the D-pad twice, hit the icon of that linebacker on the left of the screen. For me, that's square. And then flick down on the right analog stick. As you can see, that will blitz him. Now with this base blitz setup, we're only rushing 4, but we can do even better. And I'll show you guys how to make the coverage better with some more coverage adjustments in a second here. But this is just the easiest way to set up this blitz. If your user just run into that guard at the snap, that allows that linebacker to come through for the snap. Now keep in mind there are ways to make this coverage better other than just using hard flats. So we always do want to use the hard flats, but when we blitz the linebacker on the left, we kind of have a big gap in coverage in the middle of the field. So what I really want to do is put that linebacker opposite, so on the right, into a mid-read. To do that, we hit right on the D-pad twice, the icon of the linebacker on the right, which in this case is X. Remember, you can't put safeties in here. You guys can see I actually have Watts in the game. So then once we do that, a mid-read is down on the left stick. Now, a mid-read is just going to do a much better job of patrolling the middle of the field, and then I can drop that D-tackle back into a hook curl to the right. To do that, we hit left on the D-pad twice. Then it brings up the icons of the D-lineman. We're going to hit the D-tackles icon. That's triangle. Hook curl to the right is to the right on the left stick. If you're looking to become a better Madden 25 player and win more games, check out sportsgamers.com. This is where I post all my premium content. You get all my offensive and defensive schemes, ebooks, weekly tips, blitzes, money plays, bombs, and more. I have all the best content available at the cheapest prices available anywhere. Sign up today for as little as $9.95. Click the link in the description. I also pinned it in the comments. Let's win more games and dominate together, boys. And now we're only rushing 3. Now, this might sound like a lot of steps, but it's really not. If you get the muscle memory down on this, you can do it before the offense even gets ready to snap the ball. I do these types of adjustments all the time. So if you can't do these, get faster or just don't get better at the game. The choice is yours. But anyways, all we're going to do, run into the guard, and you guys can see the coverage is much better now. There's really no openings. Now, you might think to yourself, well, what if they roll out? Well, if they roll out, that would be a good way to get away from this blitz, but we can easily stop that too. Remember, we have a 3-down line, and the edge rushers are a good bit outside of the tackle for the most part. So we can set up the same blitz, as you guys can see here. This is literally the same blitz I just did, with one more adjustment. To stop the rollout, you need contains, so you're going to hit R1, R1, or RB, RB, and you'll see these edge rushers will change to contains. That way, they have to stay in the pocket, because if they try to roll out, those contains will disengage. Now, keep in mind, with your user, you're just running into that guard, then you can drop in coverage, and because we're in a zone, we can also, switch on to other defenders, okay? Now, how do people try to counter this blitz? Well, the easiest way to counter this blitz is come out in a formation where the running back is on the same side that we're blitzing from. That's what one of the ways the average player will think to block the blitz. So they could even just flip their formation, and they're going to think, oh, well, now that the running back is over here, this is going to be easier to block. So as soon as I see somebody try to put their running back on the left, this is what makes this blitz so good, is I can easily blitz from the right. So again, I'm going to press my coverage, pinch my linebackers, shade my coverage underneath. But now, because I have a linebacker in each B gap, most formations don't have this, I can just go stand over this right guard. And now you're kind of screwed because now you have to get into just flipping everything and starting over. But if I see you flip, I'll just go to the other side, right? Easy. But now we're going to blitz the linebacker on the right. So I'm going to stand over the right guard, blitz the linebacker on the right. To do this, you hit right on the D-pad twice, the icon, which would be X here, down on the right stick. And I can still QB contain if I want to prevent the rollout. I can still drop the D tackle in a zone. I can put the linebacker on the other side in the mid-read. I can basically set up the defense the same, just in reverse. So now you're trying to keep the running back in to account for the blitz. But guess what? Now it's coming the other way, so you're probably not going to have much success here. The running back slides over a bit late, but still, that's not really helping much. Now, you're probably wondering how to guard the actual flats, because our flat zones, our hard flats and clouds, they're at 25, so, they could just dump it down to the running back on a flat route and probably get, decent yardage. But guess what? We can easily stop that. So if I notice that's what you're trying to do, I'm still going to set up my blitz, but I can put the either D-end opposite the blitz or outside linebacker opposite the blitz, whichever one I really want. I can go ahead and put them in basically a curl flat, because remember, our curl flats are on 5. So I could do something like this to where now I have a double Mabel on that right side of the screen, and if you just try to chuck it to the running back, well, guess what? The guy right there in the curl flat is going to make the tackle, and you're not going to get any yards at all. Now, keep in mind, you can rotate this coverage if you want. You don't always have to keep it cover 2. You could make this like a cover 3 cloud. To do that, you'd want to put the safety that's on the right into an outside third. Then you're going to drop the safety on the left into an inside third, and the corner on the left onto an outside third. This is going to make this a cover 3 cloud coverage. And again, we can still set up the blitz the same way, and it would look like this. Now, this is just going to give this coverage a little bit more confusion to it, so they can't always think we're in cover 2, because the biggest weakness to cover 2 is going to be those fade routes or glitchy routes on the sideline. But if we switch to cover 3 cloud, they're not going to be able to abuse that anymore, and you're going to get a lot of interceptions.